When I first came to Malaysia, I was shocked. We came here without further plan. And it just took me like 1 month to adjust to the new environment. What helped me the most to do this is just remembering my people, remembering those who died in the sea, those who stuck on the borders between neighbor countries, people who are living in camps, people who were shot and died and who lose family members. I have no other choice but being grateful that I'm here in Malaysia, living in such a peaceful environment. When I first came here, listening to this sound of thunder, it used to frighten me. And I know many Syrians here in Malaysia, they still have this response. It's automatic response. Their bodies start shaking, they feel afraid. They have this flashback of memories once they hear the thunder, especially here in Malaysia, it's very strong and it rains so heavily. And I've met kids who were crying, trying to hide under the table once they hear the thunder because they think the war and the bomb is nearby. But for me, honestly, although I feel homesick, I've never seen my first country, Palestine, and I've been born and I've lived in Syria for 16 years of my life and I consider Syria as my home. But once I came to Malaysia and I've been here for 10 years, Malaysia is my second home now.
Hello everyone, my name is Leen Salleh. I am a Palestinian-Syrian. I've been living in Malaysia for 10 years and I love this country so much. Although Malaysia has become a place where I earn living and I'm trying to do my best here, I still miss my homeland. And I'm happy to share with you stories about me and my homeland, Syria. Hope you enjoy it.
This is the message that I want to convey today in this episode. I will tell you some stories of refugees in the camps, especially the stories in winter and the suffering that they have to go through. There is one story of this father who held his daughter walking barefoot, trying to get to the nearest clinic around his camp. The daughter mainly was having this kind of mild fever, let's say, but she was also barefoot. He was holding his daughter, walking with her to the nearest clinic, and unfortunately, she literally froze to death in her father's arm. Can we feel for a minute? Can we all just close our eyes and imagine the father feeling at that specific moment? Holding his daughter was sick. It's very unpleasant condition. It's winter, it's very harsh, and it's very cold, and it's freezing. It's snow. They're walking barefoot. They barely have this kind of simple jacket that I'm wearing right now. And at that moment, seeking help that he deserved, help that he couldn't find, his daughter froze in his arm and she died. This is one very basic and very simple and short story. But refugees all over the world, Syrian refugees, Palestinian refugees, they go through more and even harder kind of situation. Each one of them, they could tell you a story about migration, a story about being a refugee. None of the refugee house is prepared enough for this month. None of the refugee house is well equipped enough for winter. Refugees are suffering right now, whether they are in camps, whether they're living in small apartments. There are so many stories of single moms who are trying to work, trying to live a peaceful life, trying to support their children. And in winter, especially in winter, they just got depressed and desperate because things get harder and they can't afford anything. They can't barely walk and they can't find much opportunities, and it's very hard to work in winter. I keep wondering how these kids of these camps, they keep on smiling in their pictures. We all have seen many pictures of them, whether crying or just thinking or just playing. But the pictures that stick to my head is them smiling, being barefoot, not even wearing gloves, not even wearing jackets. Jackets is a luxury for them, you know? And in winter, since the temperature is very low, having stockings, covering your feet is very essential and very important. If your feet are cold, You will not be able to warm your body in any mean and in any case possible. That's the key in winter, is to heat your feet first before heating your body or before wearing anything on top of your body. And we can see refugees there, they have nothing, they really have nothing. And I keep wondering how they keep smiling. I wish to ask one of them, like, why you're smiling? But I feel ashamed to ask them this question. They are people who have faith, they are people who look to the future with hope. They are people who fight and do their best to live in better future, that we should be a part of it and we should support them to reach for the future they want and the future they deserve. As much as I love Syria, as much as I love Palestine, I'm pretty sure that Malaysians love their country as well. And I love Malaysia too. So I'm asking you guys to be grateful and thankful for having such a beautiful country, for having peace. It's a blessing that I hope you would always feel. Every time I meet young people, even my classmates during university, I used to tell them, guys, you should be very grateful. They would like, why? We're just living normal life. We want to work, we want to have a higher salary, we want this, we want that. And I'm like, yes, there is nothing wrong with being ambitious, but you should really appreciate that your country is safe, that you're not threatened each and every moment of death. You're not afraid of losing the loved ones. And since we're having this peaceful life here, I would like to invite each and every one of you to give a help of hand to my people in Sham, to the children, to the women, to the elderly in Sham. They need it the most, not only to improve their quality of life, they need it for the basic minimum quality of life. Not a single ringgit is little. Remember that you're giving people who are not willing to improve their quality of life or to have a luxury of life. You're helping people who want to survive and people who want to reach to the basic and minimum quality of life.